What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to The Good, the Bad and the Stupid. It's Thursday, the 21st of January. Welcome. If you've not been here before and you're watching the video, I'm sorry to say this is the last but one video for a little while, and it's going to be podcast only. So it's all for those sexy ears out there. You're going to have to, I can sit with my hair rollers in. I can sit in my onesie, my pyjamas, and nobody has to know how I'm producing the podcast. That's good. I quite like the idea, but it'll be back. Don't you worry about that. I can't find anything to talk about. Should we just talk about me for 20 minutes? Really? Well, I can find something to talk about, and it's Joe Biden's inauguration. Get your words that way. Joe Biden's inauguration is like, I think in the one newspaper it was like 20 of the 30 pages. And it's all just boring as shit, so I don't want to read it. I watched it all yesterday, so I don't want to read about it all today, do I? So, unfortunately, I've had to take the tidbits that are left around that. Christoph is pissing me off now. Christoph, I was bigging him up the other day. I was singing his praises for his name, Christoph, but now he's been pissing it down for 2 days solid. Every time I go out, I get wet. It's blowing all night long, but I thought he'd be gone by now, but unfortunately, he's creating havoc all across the country. He's refusing. Is a very virile storm. Is very what's the word? Is here to create some fucking noise anyway? Let's put it that way. You know, you can imagine Storm Brian would have had his slippers on and his fucking pipe out by now and gone, you know what, I think that's enough. We'll turn it in now, get the curtain shut before it turns dark. But Christoph, he's had it fucking 24 hours. So, I guess, some people listening are from hurricane countries and you're probably going, that sounds like a bit of a breeze compared to what we get here. We're fucking, if we get it bad enough, we're all off to Kansas. Or we're off to the Yellow Brick Road, picks us up and drops us in different counties and stuff like that. Or you get hit in the fucking back of the head by a flying cow. We don't get anything quite as bad as that, but it has some. It fucking wrecks a few people's cars. A few people get up and go to get in their car, and there's a fucking tree smashed straight through it. At least they're not in the car, but every now and then people do come a cropper. But yeah, it's a bit miserable out there. But then again, it is England, it is Britain, and it does have shit weather. It's a good job we got fucking good music and good films and good style and good clothes and good football and good looking guys like me. If you've got shit weather to deal with, you've got to have fucking something. Shit food though. We get shit food, and now you can't even take your shit food away. We haven't got shit food. There's a lot of shit food that. I mean, there's a lot of shit. There's a lot of good. Get your words out. There's a lot of good food here, but foreigners come over here and they just see the so-called staples of British food, which is like fish and chips, English breakfast, fucking pie and chips. I don't know what else is there. Spam, a load of fucking crap anyway. And but there's a lot better food than that. But that's the things that they see, and they would assume that is like what British food's about. But anyway, but you can't even take it abroad now. You can't take your ham sandwiches. The truckers down at because of Brexit, the truckers trying to get over to France, the hauliers trying to get over to France, can't take their ham sandwiches or cheese sandwiches or ham and cheese sandwiches. I don't think it's the cheese, it's the meat. You're not allowed to take it because it's classed as a personal import because it's got meat in it. So you have to declare it and mark it all and do all this kind of thing. So that they're taking everybody's sandwiches off them. I mean, forget checking in the back for fucking illegal migrants or smuggling dope and drugs and guns and whatever else. It's all about the fucking what sandwiches you got up in the cab there, please. Can we have a look? Can we have a smell? And then we got a policeman, with covered in guns and covered in all his armour and his handcuffs and everything, and he's like. Wasting his time trying to check what fucking meat you got on your sandwich. It's ridiculous. But a vegan meat company is coming to the rescue, and they're They're giving out sandwiches. Good way of promoting their product, and it's called what is it called? Love Seitan, and it's like a meat-based alternative, and they're handing out sandwiches with that on. And some of the truck drivers are digging it. So they might have a few converts there. I doubt it very much, but for now, it's kind of hitting the spot. It's either that or they fucking can't take any food over there. They'd have to go over to France, and I dare say us Brits don't particularly like the fucking French food as well. I imagine there's a lot of truck drivers who aren't too keen on croissants and fucking, frog's legs. I know frog's legs, that's well, we're known for fish and chips, they're known for frog's legs. They're known for escargot, snails. Frog's legs, we're known for fish and chips and beans on toast. So, someone did a great picture a while ago when we were in the throes of arguing about Brexit, and they did a picture of the high street when everyone was getting in their arms, all the racists were out, and everyone was up in arms about people coming to this country and all that kind of stuff and immigration. And somebody did a picture of a street of what it would look like if there was no immigrants or no migration or people come over here and set up restaurants and stuff like that. What it would look like, the high street. And basically, it was just a row of like shops that would have been pizza, or I think the original picture was like pizza, burger, not pizza. Yeah, the original picture was pizza, Indian, burgers, kebabs, all that. The whole high street was all these different various foods. But if it was English one, it would have a beans on toast shop, it'd have a egg sandwich shop, it'd have a chip shop, it'd have a what's it called? Spam sandwich shop. It'd just be a really mundane, boring street. So that was quite funny. And Fray Bentos. Don't forget the Fray Bentos. I mean, fucking, I didn't even eat these when I ate meat, but I ate them once or twice. But they're fucking. I think Fray Bentos would survive about 30 or 40 years, wouldn't it? I'd imagine, because it's in a tin. You could probably eat that in about 50 years' time, bury it, and like it would turn up somewhere in like excavators or archaeologists in 100 years' time digging, and they find a tin of Fray Bentos pie buried in the ground. They could eat it. They wouldn't. They wouldn't even put it in a museum. They'd fucking throw it in the bin. That's what everybody's going to find when in 100 years' time, archaeologists is going to find fucking landfill and fucking poisonous shit that we've left behind. There are going to be no artifacts and funky stuff that we find at the moment, gold and all that. It's going to be a load of bullshit. Anyway, so the Fray Bentos pie has made a comeback. The steak and kidney Fray Bentos pie is making a comeback as comfort food. People are buying comfort food. They're buying food. It's these Armageddon fuckers again. They're buying all toilet roll and they're buying all food that lasts forever, just in case everything caught short. They're probably buying like 100 Fray Bentos at a time, filling up the spare room. Crap, ain't they? Some people are fucking dumb. They don't. I mean, Deliveroo's running around. Deliveroo is fucking making shitloads of money at the minute. They're delivering. I suppose Fray Bentos is about £1 a tin, isn't it? Deliveroo is going to cost you about a tenner a time. So, I guess if you're going to, if that's your go-to pie to have with pie and chips rather than get Deliveroo to deliver it, then I guess it's like a cheap version. But they're fucking horrible. I wouldn't trust where the meat had come from. I'll tell you that. I would imagine it's come from the fucking worst part of the worst cab. I don't think you're going to get any of the healthy cuts in it. Let's put it that way. The best thing was Fray Bentos. What was it in? Was it in the office when somebody said, "What was the fucking name of the name of the guy who I can't think of the bloody word now. But is the Cuban? Well, the Cuban sort of. He's not Cuban, is he? From Argentina, but the revolutionary from Argentina, anyway. And the answer was bloody Che Guevara. But Ricky Gervais said Fray Bentos. I got the out in the end. It was a great joke. He said Fray Bentos for the answer. It was a pub quiz, I think it was. I'm sure that was the answer was definitely Fray Bentos. It might not have been Che Guevara, but it was somebody similar. I guess it lends itself to that situation anyway. Awkward silences, and I'll get a lot of those on this podcast when I forget to say anything. I nearly had one then. Awkward silence, forgetting the other person's name, are a top list of the worst dating moments. Or calling somebody your ex's name, or calling out your ex's name during sex. That's a big no-no, a big frowned upon situation. Awkward silences, that's because you ain't got a fuck all to talk about, I guess. I mean, awkward silence is like, or you've offended them big time. The awkward silence comes after forgetting the person's name, obviously, so it has a knock-on effect. What else is there? Farting, falling over, fluffing a joke, and mistiming a hug or kiss all make the top 10. the mistiming a hug, that one's quite a fucking good one, isn't it? When you go in for a hug and they don't reciprocate. That's quite embarrassing. Or they don't want to, and they kind of shrug it off, kind of thing, and you go in and you kind of lurching over. Double embarrassing. So, and as for farting, that's a fucking no-no. Anyway, come on. Where's your bloody... On your first date, you've got to get up and go to the toilet and do that kind of stuff. You're not going to get away with it at the dinner table, are you? You're going to fucking wreck the situation. Especially if the food's coming out and somebody starts going, hang on, that fucking food smells a bit... can you have the call the waiter over? I think something's gone off with this. Anyway, there's a lot of etiquettes on the dating game, but it's tough. It's tough. It's fucking hard work. The first date. You got to click in the first. If you haven't clicked, I know somebody who literally went to a first date. They didn't like the look. It was a blind date. They didn't like the look of him on the first fucking moment. They got up to go to the toilet and said they were going to the toilet and went to walk out the bar. But they couldn't walk out the bar because he'd left his coat on the chair at the table. So he had to go back and then he had to do the date. But he was, cheeky bastard, was about to run out on this lady who fucking coming to meet him. Should have been distraught. I mean, he weren't much of a fucking looker himself, but, would have pissed her right off, wouldn't it? Wouldn't have done her confidence any good. Anyway, I told you there's not much in the news. We're going to talk some of my anecdotes. Gary Newman, I mean, this is fucking bollocks. And Gary Newman claims he was paid £37 for 1 million streams of one of his songs. What's that on? It's a streaming company. They should be paying. He said they should pay more money. Fucking right, they should. They've had 1 million downloads of the song, and he gets 37 quid. That is ridiculous. That's borderline, and that's an insult to give him that. He might as well just say, "I'm not going to even give you the 37, Gary, because I don't want to embarrass you." We've just fucking had a ton of money out of that £1 million, and we've had 1 million downloads. Beg your pardon. We've got your song out to everybody, and we're going to give you a cheque for £37. I couldn't look at him in the eye. He certainly, they just post it through the post, don't they? Probably say there's no phone number to call us. Send it through the post. You know what I mean? And shut off all contact. He should just say, well, they've got no choice, have they? They've got to put him on. I guess he hasn't got his live shows either, so he's damned if he does and damned if he don't. But the 37, they ain't going to fucking do much for somebody who's used to millions of pounds once upon a time. That's it's embarrassing. I'd expect that for one of my songs. That's the kind of I'd be like that. Yeah, that's all right, because I'm nobody. If I put a song out and it got listened to by a few people, I'd expect the £37 would probably piss me off. But I'd be like, yeah, I know my place. But not if I was like, I'd have some like top songs. He wants to get them all on the greatest hits albums. Where's Now up to now? Now, he's from the 80s, haven't he? He probably made some money off him in the 80s. But when they do revival albums, he should get his name on them. That's the best bet. Get the fucking music companies to pay you. Right, what's the last one I'm going to do? Or last two I'm going to do then. A woman who bombarded... Oh, I pulled that one out to remind me of another one. A woman who bombarded emergency services with hundreds of false 999 calls has been jailed for a number of months. I've ripped it off in the wrong place, so I don't know how many months she's got. But I don't know what she did. They haven't said anything about what she did, but it just reminded me of a guy who also... I forgot to talk about it the other day, and he got sent to prison again for breaching his he's already been to prison for it, and he's been sent again for breaching it, his bail, or his his parole, should I say, whatever you want to call it, his licence. And he was sent to prison for ringing 999 constantly and burping down the phone. He's a serial burper. And he did it the first time. He got caught, got a warning, and then he was in the paper again about 6 months later, doing it again. He got sent to prison for it. And he's come out on licence, and he's been sent back again for doing it again. The guy just doesn't learn his lesson. I mean, they know who it is for fucking starters. Then they go, that's Terry. Come on, somebody get round to Terry's house, pick him up again. He's burping down the phone again. I can tell. It's almost like his fingerprint now, isn't it? The sound and the the bellow. That's definitely Terry's bellow. I know it for sure. Anyway, last one I'm going to do. If you've got an animal and you want to make some money, you can now get your animal to give people the Cameo, the website where celebrities charge thousands of pounds for you to get a birthday message off them, and they talk to you personally through a video for a lot of money. Now you can do it with your pets. You can put your pet on there, and somebody, if your pet's cute enough or whatever, people are paying to get your pet to give them a birthday message. So if anybody's got a talking dog or a talking cat, obviously you haven't, but you've definitely possibly might have a talking parrot. There's a bit of money to be made there. Probably going to be short-lived because it's a bit ridiculous, because I can't imagine people want... There's probably somebody behind the bunny rabbit going, hello, it's Dave the bunny rabbit. And you're paying them 150 quid for that. That is going to wear thin very, very soon. But milk it while you can. Anyway, I'm going to do another one tomorrow, so hopefully you've enjoyed it. See you then. Bye.